What's up everyone, it's John Lee here and welcome back to another video on my channel. My goal here is to help business owners and real estate agents scale their businesses to multiple 6, 7, 8 figures, 9 figures using creative online strategies and investment strategies. So if that interests you at all, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you will be notified when I drop my next video. Now, for those of you that don't know too much about me, I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor, serial entrepreneur in Vancouver, British Columbia. And my goal here for this video is to go over the top 5 mistakes that I've personally made and I see people make when it comes to flipping homes. Now, the first mistake that I see people make is underestimating the timeline. So a lot of times people underestimate how long it takes for a renovation to complete. People are extremely optimistic and they put a 3-month timeline on doing a quick flip on a property that they acquired. But a lot of people don't understand that flipping a home actually takes more than 3 months because there's a lot that actually goes on behind the scenes. Even today, especially with the struggles that we're having with freight and just the supply chain, everything is all screwed up in terms of like material, delivery time, to even like contractors and sourcing the right people to kind of do the work to renovate a place. So everything is kind of stalled and behind schedule. So it's real important that you buffer that extra time frame just to ensure that you have enough safety cushion, time-wise, money-wise, to kind of keep everything cash flowing until the reno is complete. Now, if you have, for example, a really good offer and you close it in 3 months and you can sell it at a really good price, but let's say the buyers decide to back out of a deal, renovations happen, and so at the end of the flip, it takes about like 5 months or so, right? So another thing that could happen is, if in today's market it's extremely hot, you can probably buy a property, sit on it for a few weeks, a few months, and then just sell it as is for a quick buck. But always be sure to budget for renovations, right? In the event that the home doesn't sell, the product doesn't move, you definitely have to spend more time, energy, money to then renovate the place, add a nice touch to it, to then put it back on the market and see if it could entice potential buyers to then buy the place. So that could take 5 months or even longer, again, with supply chain issues that we're running right now. So be sure to give yourself a realistic time frame of what could happen or the things that could possibly go wrong, and budget for the time frame of not just a quick flip, but doing a flip after a reno is done. The second mistake that I see people make is underestimating the rehab or the renovation costs. For example, many people think that you can do renos for under $50,000 on a home, but in reality, it's easily $100,000 job. And the problem is people don't have enough experience to really run the numbers. Just with raw material goods alone, we have seen prices of them triple in the past year. So again, these are some of the costs that you don't really think about, right? Especially if you're brand new in the game. So it's important to budget out a safety cushion again for the rehab costs, and I would say double the budget that you expect to spend, because things could come up, and before you know it, you don't want to dig yourself a hole and be stuck with cash flow on a half renovated, half rehab project in which you're stuck in a limbo essentially, and you don't really know how to proceed from there. Another mindset struggle that a lot of people have is they think they can do everything. Mr. Jack of all trades, let me watch a YouTube tutorial, I'll do everything on my own. And yes, you can do that, but it's again not very time efficient, right? Because not only are you racing against time, you're racing against money. So it's best to hire a reputable contractor and someone that's in the trades or who knows what they're doing, knows the ins and outs of sourcing goods to cutting goods, has all the proper tools and all the gadgets that you need in order to do the best job possible, the quickest job possible, the most cost effectively as possible. So get a true rehab cost in which, again, you pay a contractor, you pay someone else to kind of do it for you, and see how much it would cost, and see how much it would costs for you to flip the house after reno, and if the numbers do make sense or not. The truth is, you can only do one home at a time. There's no realistic way that you can start 10 rehab projects at once, because again, there's just so many things that could go wrong with that. So, take things slow and steady and do things one at a time. And after first flip, yeah, you might figure out, hey, this contract is good, that's not that good, or you might find more efficient ways to do things for then your second project, third project will definitely get a lot smoother. But to start off, I recommend just working with one project to start with that will keep you really, really busy, believe it or not. The third mistake that I see a lot of people make is overdoing the rehab of the house. For example, a lot of people put their perspective on how a home should be, which isn't the case, because perspective and your personal opinion is very subjective, right? So I would say, if you spend extra money on material for a specific look or specific finish, or specific type of flooring that's like imported from Germany, or light fixture that's made by a really famous designer in New York, like these are the things that are really subjective. And I would, just do the bare minimum. Just make sure that the house is a nice and clean, modern finish that's most acceptable by the general public. You don't want to go out there and invest all this money to go, extremely extravagant and over the top with the renos, because you might not be able to recoup that money back, right? Like most people might not see the value that you see when it comes to like renovating a place. So make sure you don't go over the top with your renovation, your rehab budget, and just do enough that people know it's a new house. It's comfortable, it's cozy, it's nice, modern, it's clean, it's sleek, and that is good enough. Now, the next thing you want to do is speculate on ARV. For example, you have to anticipate how much you plan to sell your house for. Like, you don't want to speculate on things that you can't control. For me, it's a lot easier because I live, breathe, sleep, eat real estate, right? I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor. So for me, it's easy to kind of know and keep a pulse on the market to see, how inventory is moving, what type of properties are selling, what kind of design people prefer and like more, that they will pay over asking for, things of that nature. But if you're inexperienced, I think it's really important that you work with a reputable, experienced real estate agent that's in the neighborhood. And it might even be like a friend or family, or even someone that that is a real estate investor that could give you some insight on what they know about the market and what they think is best. Because again, you don't want to over speculate on how much you think the home can be sold for, and then run a negative deficit for you to then go through all that hassle, time, spend all that money to then flip a house and then sell it at a loss after all the other expenses that you accrue along the way. So don't overdo your rehab, because again, your appraiser might not give it the value that it sees to be, and most importantly, buyers might not give you the money and pay the price that you value the home at, because they don't see it the same as you do. Fifth mistake that I see a lot of people do is factoring in money costs. So this is again the loan that you take out to buy that specific property. You really want to be careful with what type of loan you're taking on, right? Like if you have a high interest loan, then that would really affect how much you take home at the end of the sale of the property. And the money cost is what ends up burning a lot of people through, right? You want to be very careful if you're taking a private loan, a loan from a B lender, or a loan from the big banks and A lender, or even if you're taking out a line of credit to do your construction and rehab and renovation. So money cost is something that you want to keep a very tight pulse on. And that's similar to the rehab cost, because all said and done, you want to make sure that you pocket X amount of dollars for it to be even worth your time. And if you have cash on hand, that's great. But it's also really important that you look at potentially getting lenders or pre-approvals, or even having line of credits that you can have access to or tap into, just in case, if something doesn't go the way that it's planned, you have a little bit of a safety net cushion that you can bridge that amount. Because you might be stuck in a terrible spot if you're halfway through your rehab, or your property has been sitting for a few months on the market, it's not selling, and you don't want to be put in a position where you potentially have to declare bankruptcy. That's just not an option, especially if you're kind of doing this to make more money. So again, be very careful with how you handle the money, especially budgeting everything money costs. You want to tally up your spending on the rehab, on the purchase, on everything on a daily basis. So keep track of money. That's really important. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you guys learned a thing or two about the biggest mistakes that I've personally seen and gone through when it comes to rehabbing, flipping a property. So it's not always like sunshine and like, butterflies and blue skies, like white clouds, right? Like it's actually really stressful at times. It can be, especially if again the money cost or the market turns on you, right? You never know what the market can do, or the rehab costs go way berserk or through the roof because something went wrong, or there's structural damage with the property that you purchased. Like there's just so many things that can go wrong. So again, it's really important that you take it step by step. I know you guys are really excited if you see an opportunity to make money. You just want to jump in and rehab 10, 20 properties at once. Start with one project, work on it, know the ins and outs, build the network, get a feel of what type of renovation style, how to budget for everything, how to hire contractors. And like once you get a feel of everything, start with one project, see how it turns out, and then kind of go from there if it goes well. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to like this video if you learned a thing or two, because it just helps me and the algorithm. It helps me push out the content to more people that could find value for this video. Comment down below which mistake is the one that surprised you the most, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys love what you see. Again, my goal is simple. I'm here to sell you anything. I want to help small business owners, real estate agents scale their businesses, scale their life to multiple 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9 figures using creative online strategies, investing strategies. And part of that is to kind of show you guys and educate you guys on some of the mistakes and the biggest problems that I see with jumping into certain types of businesses or doing certain projects. So if you guys are informed, if you guys are educated, hopefully you guys will be able to make a better decision. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.